cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. Breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. Still want you in my body, still want you in my veins. Yeah, my mind's getting caught.
Hello there once again. A very sunny, beautiful morning today here in Hong Kong, and we're at the famous Peak Tram. This must be the #1 most famous tourist attraction here in Hong Kong. It's an elevated lookout podium on one of the hilltops up here. This is on the Hong Kong Island side. We're gonna get a tram ticket. We're gonna go up the tram, and it's a steep tram. It's a super steep tram. Luckily today isn't too overcast. It's a beautiful sunny day. Let's go get some tickets and let's go on up there. I'm super excited. Single and then walk down?
Yeah, 62 one way.
60. And this includes the Sky Terrace and everything?
122.
But what is the Sky Terrace?
Observation deck, you can see the view and the top.
So this is the part, right?
The top.
This Sky. Okay, can I get that then?
So you want
Single with Sky Terrace.
Okay. 122, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Hi. So here it is, this is the Peak Tram, and to be honest, from some of the videos I saw, the lines were humongous to get on here. A lot of people opted for taxis, so I'm really kind of happy that we managed to get in very simply. It was 122 with a one-way trip, including the lookout deck, and one of the things you can do is get the tram up there and you can just walk back down, and it's a beautiful path through a foresty area. One thing I've noticed since I've been here is that in the mornings it's a lot clearer, the sky, and then around 12 o'clock it starts to get very hazy. That could just be the week I'm here, but certainly earlier in the morning you do get more chance of a blue sky. The price of my ticket, again, 122 single trip, including the visit to the sky deck. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna get a window seat. There's a lot of seats on this thing.
Oh, I told her that I'll change, but I don't think that I can. And I told her that I'd stay away from women in the DMs, but I'm sorry, girl, I can't. Oh, I told her that I'll change, but I don't think that I can. And I told her that I'd call, but my kid and I'm always be the one to stay the same. I got women on my mind, yeah. I can't help it if she fine, yeah. Way too many in my side, yeah. Like how am I supposed to find a wife, yeah.
So obviously they push you through the area where they're trying to make some extra money first. Souvenir shops, some cafes, some bars. But one thing they do have here, and this is kind of cool, is look behind me. Madame Tussauds. I've only ever been once to a Madame Tussauds, and as I recall it was, guessing in Amsterdam. Yeah, don't know. Jackie Chan. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about. See here. For curiosity's sakes, I'll let you know how much it costs to go to Madame Tussauds. So for one adult is 300 Hong Kong dollars. Okay, so you know. And you get to meet Ed Sheeran. And apparently, to make it more lifelike and authentic, if you scratch the nose of Ed Sheeran, you actually get to smell Taylor Swift. So, yeah, no expenses paid here. This is where we are, and this is where we're heading to the sky deck. Right now we're inside this building. How cool is this? I mean, this is super cool. So this is where we are. We're gonna go up onto the sky deck in a minute. I mean, this is really cool here. But it's super windy, obviously. I've just seen something up here that's caught my eye. As opposed to this incredible view, of course. Look at it behind me, look at that building. I'm gonna be honest, since I've been here in Hong Kong, Hong Kong obviously has parts of China, any city, big cities have a reputation regarding the air pollution. I haven't felt that at all. In fact, quite the opposite. My experience of being here, the air's been very, very clean. Very clean. I think a lot of the Chinese factories that were on the border have been moved further into the north of China. So you don't feel the pollution here. Certainly not as I recall. I think this is the spot where Jean-Claude Van Damme does the splits overlooking the skyline of Hong Kong. And you know the worst thing is, there's so many people watching this who are probably thinking, who's Jean-Claude Van Damme? Trust me, your John Wick movies wouldn't exist without Van Damme back in the 80s and 90s. In fact, Enter the Dragon is his daughter, Bruce Lee's daughter. Enter the Dragon is not the greatest martial arts movie ever made. Bloodsport is the greatest martial arts movie, action movie ever made. Makes you think, really. So I paid the extra money to go up there on the sky deck. Do you need to pay the extra money to go up there on the sky deck? I mean, is it going to be any different? Well, we'll get to find out, but I can't see it being. Imagine the people who live in these buildings. You think this is the most expensive real estate in the world? So what must the place up there cost? These are old buildings by the looks of them. And they don't look very glamorous. So I've no idea if they've got a good deal because their families have been there for 100 years or not. But I'm sure if you were to buy one of them, it'd be in the tens of millions of dollars. So I did a little Google, as you do, a little dabble on Google, just to check out some of the history here. We're gonna hit up Wikipedia. A little bit of history about here. Okay, so Victoria Peak is an upper class residential area with a shopping mall and dining facilities now. But 200 years ago, there lived a notorious pirate, and his name was Chung Po Tai. Okay, the notorious pirate Chung Po Tai. The peak was his lookout where he could signal his guys when a ship came into the harbor. Peace regained only after 1810 when the pirates had accepted to be the captain of the Qing government's Imperial Navy. Okay, so you want to get rid of a pirate, make him the chief captain of your Imperial Navy. Anyway, it says anyway, it's not me saying anyway. In 1848, a sanatorium was built for the sick soldiers. Patients were carried up the peak by sedan chairs. However, soldiers stayed... This is written terribly. If you wrote this, learn to write. Basically what they're trying to say with some gibberish, or unless it's Google Translate automatically translating it without telling me, is this is where soldiers used to come and stay when they were sick, but it didn't work because they all ended up with diarrhea. One of the differences I can really see about being up here is what I find personally kind of interesting, is you do get to see these houses over here, but it looks like you get to have a real good look in them, and you can see in these bedrooms, although I don't know if anyone lives there. These houses up here. You got a telescope here. Yeah, so look. Yeah, so you can literally look right into their house. You would have thought they would have angled that telescope a bit better, wouldn't you? Unless the owner of the house has paid for that telescope to be there, because that's kind of the thing he's into. Maybe he's into being watched. So let's give you some little facts. Facts about Hong Kong, if I can point out. So of course, this is Hong Kong Island side. So originally, this is all water. This was all water, the majority of it. I think the sea would have come back to about halfway, to about here is where the sea came, too close to Lockhart Road, Wan Chai area. It would have come. So a lot of this land, a large portion of this land, is actually reclaimed land. And the same for all this land here on the Kowloon side, it's reclaimed land. A lot of this was mountains. I'm not sure if the mountains were on this side or on the other side. It was like 9 mountains, and a lot of those mountains have been quarried, and the sea was filled in, like they did in Gibraltar. And the sea's been filled in, and then land was built on top of that. One of the interesting things is, in one of my other videos, I was talking about how Hong Kong means fragrant harbour. But the mountains here, there was like 9 mountains. So Kowloon, which were 9 mountains on this side, which, to be honest, I couldn't even tell you which one was which. So Kowloon is very similar, the sound, and originally maybe came from Kowloon, which would be 9 dragons. I want to believe that's true, because I think it's a nice story. And then the dragons would fly down, the spirits of the dragons, which were the mountains, would fly down and they would drink in the harbour. I think we're quite lucky, because you can imagine this can be a hell of a lot busier than it is today. This isn't too bad. So you see all the green foliage here. If you look where the buildings are, let's just look at this for a second. So you see all the buildings situated here, the buildings here. But then everything else is green. Green, green, green as far as the eye can see. And then you keep going out and out further into Hong Kong, you end up in the new territories, and it just gets greener and greener and greener. I was watching a documentary the other day, and they were saying that only 7% of Hong Kong landmass is used for real estate, for commercial and private housing. So when you think Hong Kong is an overpopulated city, it's the most expensive real estate market in the world by far, yet only 7% of their land is used. I mean, something's not right there. Right. Well, I'm gonna walk down to the bottom, explore some more of Hong Kong. This is Victoria Peak. It's getting windy now. What the hell has happened? It's one of those 9 dragons coming down to drink from the harbour. That's what it is. Rick Meets World. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Ah, it's Hong Kong, baby! Yeah!